Today we're talking about Clara, how taunts work, her best relic, light cone, and how you want to build a team around her. Before we get into the nitty-gritty of Clara, first we need to talk about Clara's skills and talent. First we have to talk about her talent because her talent is the most important kit that she has by far. Her talent is a counter that procs every time she is attacked by the enemy and mark the enemies with mark of the counter. So what is this mark? First, we need to get into her skill. Her skill is an AoE attack that generates 30 energy per cast. This skill marks the enemy, while the enemy has this mark, Clara's skill will deal more damage. That mark though will be dispelled after she casts this skill, until she has her idol on. Next is her ultimate. Her ultimate is a buff that increases her damage reduction and taunt value greatly for 2 turns. This is important to pinpoint how much Clara will be attacked by the enemy per turn. We'll talk about this later on. Her ultimate will also buff her talent so that after she casts her ultimate, the counter will also be triggered when allies is attacked, not only her. Her counter will also become an AoE that does more damage. For traces, her most important upgrade is this one, the one that increases the counter damage. The other two are pretty important, but the most important part is the extra counter damage traces. Well, you're going to level up both of them anyway, so yeah, it doesn't hurt. For skill, you want to prioritize her talent, her ultimate, and followed up by her skill. If you want to play Clara as a tank, not as a DPS, it is advised for you to max her basic attack. Although, I don't really recommend you guys to build her as a tank because in my opinion, she is a DPS that has kind of a different playstyle. Now that we already covered the basic of Clara, let's talk about her energy regeneration. Her ultimate costs 110 energy, while getting attacked and countering that attack will generate you 20 energy. 10 for being attacked, and 10 for countering the enemy with your talent. While your basic attack regenerates 20 energy, and your skill will generate you 30 energy. So that means we need to cast our skill 3 times and 1 basic attack in order to get our ultimate. But usually that won't be necessary since she has her taunt. We will talk about this after we get into the team building section because it is kind of important to pinpoint how much Clara will be attacked in a turn. So this is probably going to be your team for Clara as a free-to-play player. You have to run her with March 7th since her shield and taunt is just so valuable for Clara. Natasha is going to be here for safety measures. Natasha's slot can also be filled with another DPS if you're strong enough to go without healer. And the last party member is going to be a flex. You can use a character that counters the enemy here. So a good candidate is someone like Serval, Asta, MC Fire, and even Dan Heng. Because he has a wind penetration, so you can run him almost anywhere, in any content really. Someone like Asta and MC Fire is really good here because their basic attack is really good in order to fill the skill point requirement that you need. If you're strong enough already and probably want to change Natasha for another DPS, Asta's basic attack can burn enemies and MC Fire can do a fire AoE attack and also shield your team with her basic attack. So if you want to run another DPS, definitely consider running Asta or MC Fire in the slot. The way you play this team is quite simple. You always want to shield Clara and refrain from shielding any other unit unless they are very close to dying. This way, our Clara will have the highest chance to be attacked by the enemy since March 7th shield also work as a taunt. Natasha will most likely be auto-attacking and spamming her ult, while you use the flex member skill while you have extra skill points to spare. And also another thing to keep in mind is to always put Clara at the edge of your team in order to protect the 4th member of the team. You can decide which member you want to protect the most, either it's your Natasha or your March 7th or even if it's your like flex member. So yeah, definitely put Clara at the edge of the team in order to protect the 4th member of your team. Now after we build our team, we can finally pinpoint how often will Clara be attacked by the enemy. Let's say we have Dan Heng, Natasha, Clara, and March 7th in our team. This is the team that I ran most of the time when using Clara. So, with March 7th shield, Clara will be attacked 62% of the time by the enemy. With March 7th and her ultimate stacked, she will be attacked 75% of the time by the enemy. With this, we can safely assume that Clara will be attacked most likely 2 to 3 times per turn. If you want to know the calculation that I use for this is the formula that I use in order to get these numbers. As you can see, it actually differs from team to team. If you guys are interested in in-depth explanation on how this game works, let me know in the comment down below and I will make videos covering these stuffs. We can talk about speed, we can talk about defenses, we can talk about how damage formula works, and that kind of fun stuff. So if you guys are interested, definitely comment down below and I will make this kind of video. Now if we assume that Clara is attacked for 2 times per turn, that means she will get another 40 energy to use on her ultimate. So that means she can get her ultimate by doing this following action. Skill for 30 energy, hit and counter 2 times for 40 energy, skill for 30 energy, and another hit and counter for 20 energy. All of this action will total for 110 energy. So this action can be done by 2 turns. So this means her ultimate can have 100% uptime if you get lucky the whole battle and the enemy is actually working on your side, because her ultimate damage reduction and taunt value is up for 2 turns. Now let's talk about Relic and Light Cone. For free-to-play Light Cone options, we have on the Fall of the Aeon, for in my opinion the best in slot when it comes to free-to-play options. This will increase her attack stats every time you attack, but this will not be triggered by her counter, as far as I know, since her counter is a follow-up attack. And after breaking the enemy, you will also gain another 12% damage increase, which will happen very often if you play Clara, since she will attack a lot with her counter. For the 4-star options, we have a Secret Vow, which is Arlen's Light Cone. This Light Cone will increase your damage by 20% and another 20% damage if your HP percentage is lower than the enemy. The second part will probably not trigger as much for you, since you will probably stay healthy if you play Clara, but the 20% damage bonus is very valuable. For Relics, you will most likely go for 4 sets of Streetwise Champion Boxing, since the 4-set skill is literally made for Clara. And lucky for us, we can actually get the 4-star version of the Relic pretty early on in Belobog Underground Shop. We won't be talking about substat since we don't have the luxury to be farming a perfect set of Relic for now, but for the main stat, we want attack, physical bonus damage, crit rate, probably some speed if you know what you're doing when you decide your team. But that is pretty much it for the Clara guide. If you guys enjoy the video, make sure you subscribe and hit the like button. And as usual guys, stay broke, keep playing gacha games.